So this isn't very bright. I'm in the Coliseum, the old Coliseum on Auburn University. This building is still around. Years ago they said they were going to tear it down when they built the new Auburn Arena, but it is such a big building and there are so many classrooms and training facilities, not to mention a huge court arena that people still use. But you see all these seats around here. I don't know how many people this Coliseum seats. This building's been around forever. I'm in section 13, row 14, seat number 6, and on the armrest, the right-hand armrest of that seat, very faintly is a series of 3 numbers. I believe, I don't know if it's readable on this video in the poor light, but it's 1388. And if you were to go to that seat, which would be a few more, or just a couple seats down, 1388 would be row 18. Let's go upstairs to row 18 and seat 8. And at one point, let's see, on this armrest, very faintly, again, I don't know if you can see in the light, there's another series of numbers. This would be 13, 16, 9, and so you could go to that seat and find another series of numbers and so forth. I put these numbers in over a decade ago, I think, about a decade ago, on various seats throughout different sections in the Coliseum. And if you trace them out and go seat to seat and at different rows, I have some of the codes on a piece of paper here that I printed out to remind myself which rows were used. But right here, point is if you traced all these, if you found a few of these seats and they hopped you from seat to seat, they would draw out certain letters and ultimately it would spell a message that read Arial 5, Arial being a font face and 5 of course being a number. This was for a particular cryptex for that puzzle party. This is the same puzzle party that was using the plaque at Chewacla State Park, which was in a previous video, a previous post on the Offbeat website, which kind of started this whole thing of me hunting down old puzzle artifacts. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of them in the Coliseum here. I'm not going to try. The lighting up in this particular section is not great, but I'm actually quite surprised that I can see any remnant. This was just written probably in a Sharpie ink pen on the armrest of a Coliseum. Now, some of the seats in the upper decks of this Coliseum, maybe no one sat in this over the past decade, but I think they have a lot of events and a lot of these seats are filled. I checked down in one of the lower sections near the court and I couldn't see any numbers there, so they've probably been worn off. Again, this is at least a decade old, but some of the numbers are still visible, so maybe people find themselves in the Coliseum and they might look back down on the armrest by their hand and go, what is this series of numbers? Well, it's from an old puzzle party of mine. Not that anyone else would know that, but if you're watching this video, then now you know that a few of those codes are still findable within the old Coliseum, at least until this building is eventually torn down.